May 1993, a year before the democratic elections in South Africa, and Kimberley in the Northern Cape was the scene for an event that seemed strangely out of step with the rest of the country. An ANC protest march, a hand grenade explosion, 1 dead, more than 40 people injured. The grenade was aimed at the Bophuthatswana consulate in Kimberley, but it somehow detonated among the crowd. Sipho Mbaqa and Nkosinathi Nkohla, leading ANC members, were both sentenced to 12 years for the attack. But this week, former MK man Walter Smiles stood before the Truth Commission and confessed that he threw the grenade.
I would like the people who are in prison to be released because it's not their offence. They weren't responsible. When we got there, the petitions were handed over, first petition, the second petition, and the third petition. When it was time to hand over the third petition, then there was a sign that I must throw this grenade. And he lay down at the same time. So when I threw it, I was weak. I have no experience of this type of thing. And then I threw the grenade, and then I felt very sad for the harm that I caused. And I heard that somebody had died, and I felt very bad. My heart was very, very sore.
For Elizabeth Makone, mother of the young COSAS member Ezekiel Makone, who died in the attack, his death holds no reason.
It was very, very painful. I still can't actually believe it. Still can't believe that it happened. That morning when I left home, he was still there and he was on his way to school, and that was the last time I saw him. Afterwards, I just heard that he was dead.
Walter Smiles' unexpected confession created more questions than answers. The 2 men in jail for the attack believed they were wrongfully convicted.
I formulated a story so that I can be saved from their oppression. Van der Kolf came after I have agreed to their story, and then they said they were going to take photos at Transbank George Street, where this all took place. They alleged that we got training, so we had to agree that we got training from that area. They also wanted to know who were responsible for all some of the things that they talked about, and I didn't know about what they were talking about, but I did agree and admitted that I knew everything that they were talking about. After we did these point outs, they asked me, Erasmus and Rousseau asked me if I was prepared to be a state witness. I said no. They then decided to charge me.
So when I realized these people, these police, were becoming so serious about this matter of Nkosinathi, I then decided to tell them the truth. I told them the truth. I told them what the whole situation was. And that situation, they have it in their files. If they produce their files, they will find that I told them exactly what happened. It seems to me they didn't believe me. At that stage, I realized that these people, they wanted me to confirm the story which was not true. And the story that is the truth that I tell them, they don't believe it. We were then put on trial. That obviously cooked evidence. We then battled with that evidence. But they seemingly had enough resources to bring in all sorts of false witnesses, to the extent that they brought in even our own comrade.
Nkosinathi, another young Kimberley activist, turned state witness during the trial. He said that he was forced to give false evidence out of fear for his life.
They asked me, do I know who is responsible for what happened? I said, I don't know anything about that. The adjutant was the leader of the interrogators. He came time and again and continued with the interrogation. They asked me if I wanted to be released. I said, obviously I do. And then he said, if I want to, then I must speak the truth. I should state that I've seen people who have thrown the grenade. And through the intimidation, and when they were trying to show me how they are going to throw me out of the window, I was afraid. At the end, I signed because I feared for my life. They said then they are going to release me, but at the end they didn't. Then they told me that I would be going to court, and I was supposed to state everything that was signed there. And then they said I must say what I have signed for. Rosso came to fetch me. He was the captain, and on my way to the court, he stated that he drilled me to say what I was supposed to say in court.
The Attorney General of the Northern Province, Charles du Plessis, says Walter Smiles is a liar. The Commission says the truth might be found in a court of law.
So it is possible that the evidence by Smiley and the evidence of Ngos in this particular case may be of a nature that might persuade the matter, persuade a court to rehear the matter.